We're with the chairman of the Caribbean Tourism Organization, the Honorable Kenneth Bryan, who's also the Minister of Tourism and Ports for the Cayman Islands. First of all, let us talk a little bit about the business meetings of the CTO that took place yesterday, which would have been on Tuesday. How did the meetings transpire? Good updates coming from the chair?
Yeah, we had an opportunity to give the recent data on the future, which still is sustaining its reasonable projections. So nothing bad to report. But yesterday was more about the new SG, our new Secretary General, who is now going to be the person leading the organization on behalf of the ministers in respect to our policy objectives. So the focus has been around her. We're very happy to have her on board. She had an opportunity to present her 90-day plan, which a lot of people were excited about. You know, finally we're starting to see the changes and the direction that we wanted ever since I took over chairmanship. And one of my commitments were to find that new SG and also the restructuring of the organization to make it become more modern in today's expectations for the organization. So we're well on the way to the second part, and we got the first one out of the way. So, you know, I want to make sure I accomplish that before the end of my term as chairman.
So 1 year down as a 2-year chair of the Caribbean Tourism Organization, going into the second year, what's the vision? What's the thinking behind your work plan over the next 12 months?
Well, the main thing is giving the membership confidence in the organization. You know, there's been a lot going through over the last 5 to 7 years, even pre-pandemic. And then the pandemic compiled on top of it. So a lot of restructuring, a lot of cleanup exercise, a lot of revenue concerns, and we're starting to see things get back to where they need to be. Now we can tweak those little areas that needs to be updated to be more efficient. And that's the reason for the new SG to be hired, because we didn't have an SG for almost 4 years. So I'm happy about that. I think that right now with our brand building, our exposure across the Caribbean and across the world, that member states that pay their dues can start to see more exposure and value proposition, that this brand is associated with growth, sustainable growth, development, understanding of the industry, and is prepared to do what it takes to continue to empower each member with information and marketing opportunities. So in improving the brand will also improve the confidence of the current members and also attract new ones. So that's my ultimate goal over the next year. We've started that process. You hear feedback from private sector, stakeholders, and even the members themselves feeling comfortable about the way forward. But the work isn't done. We still got a lot more to go. And remember, regardless if I'm chairman or not, the Cayman Islands is always going to be a member. So with that in mind, we want to make sure that we clear a path that makes it easy for the organization to succeed for all of its members.
As we look towards the winter season, both from a Caymanian as well as a Caribbean perspective, what is your forecast as we go into a new season and a new year?
Well, we definitely expect to get the revenues way past our budgeted amount. We've already done that, so that's a success story in itself. Most Caribbean islands are seeing their average daily rates a lot higher than before COVID. So we're doing well. The first half of the year, we've gotten all the revenues that we projected we were going to get this year. So it's just icing on the cake for now. What's more important is, though our value for our average daily spend is higher, we want to make sure that we can get our numbers back up to where they were before COVID. So continuously pressuring and reminding the world that we are there and open for business and better than we ever was before. Obviously, the challenges that come along with that is the global situation. You know, we got wars unfortunately happening now. You have inflation. You have the mortgage rates, banking rates, and a number of political instabilities across the region, which, you know, causes our guests and our visitors to come on sometimes go, do I want to have the vacation now? We want to make sure to remind them that, listen, there's no better time than the present. to take that, because COVID taught us that, live today for today, and also show them that we have the best product for you to build your experiences that you want, and sometimes what is seen to be a difficult time. But there's good news on the horizon. The interest rates are seeming to level out now, with indicators that within the next couple of months we may even see a potential drop, which will have a knock-on effect on disposable income for our target markets, whether it's in the European market or the American market. And for Cayman Islands, it's mostly the American market. So we're focusing on that while at the same time constantly monitoring global events and how they affect the behavior of the traveler.
It sounds like there's no room for complacency, because based on the vagaries of the international economy and other geopolitical considerations, one must really continue to work hard and stay focused from a Caribbean perspective.
Most definitely. This time doesn't call for us to slow down at all. We can't be complacent. Many persons think, well, okay, COVID is past, we kind of get back to normal. But now it's the time to press the gas even further, because what we're starting to see is persons wearing off of, oh, I've got the chance to travel since COVID if I have the disposable income to do so. So we need to constantly remind persons that you need a break. You need to get away from the 9 to 5, 5 days a week, 40 hours a week, and come and relax and come allow us to, you and your family to get some quality you time. And that's what we're in the business of, is to serve you, make you enjoy yourself. So, but that's on the backdrop of, current marketing costs going to increase tremendously. The United States election is next year. Advertising costs is going to go through the roof, and vice versa in the European markets with much of the instability that's happening there. So yes, we have to keep our foot down on the gas. It's no time to ease up now. There's no reason to believe that, oh, we're out of the woods. In this business, because the forest constantly changes with trends and behaviors and technology and marketing, we have to constantly be monitoring it and constantly adding pressure on our initiatives to get people to our destinations.